Yeah. We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism, but most of all, we at war with ourselves. God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kinda patient, cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, 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 grow your coins.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow, back for another day. I've got a lot planned today and for this evening. I've got quite a few videos planned. I've got an ICO review. Actually, I've got a couple that I'm working on. One of them's for iFood Chain, and another one is for Pico something. I can't even remember the name of it now. I told the guy, I said I'll say something about it in my video so that he knew that he was talking to me. Hopefully this is enough for you to confirm that this is in fact me telling you I'm looking into it. But that's all upstairs and I don't have any of it right in front of me. Thank you guys for joining me. Man, a lot of you guys are piling in here. That's pretty cool. Crow for president, y'all. You know what? If I were ever elected president, I'd be dead in a week because I'd probably do a lot of good and nobody would like it. I don't think that's in the cards for someone like me. I'm just way too upfront. I don't think I could. It sounds great, but as Trump's finding out, it's not all glitz and glam. Crypto, buy a bag of credits. We take it over the world. I'm not 100% sold on credits, to be honest with you. I mean, I like it. It sounds promising, and I know they hit like a big milestone in the transactions per second and all that, and it sounds cool, but yeah, I haven't gotten into a lot of it. It's good to have you back, Crow. It's good to be back. Look, everything that's happened yesterday was really difficult for me because it was a very emotional thing for me to come back after all that had gone on. And, it's still scary. Honestly, it's still scary to be back and doing this. It's like, if for anybody that is a rape victim out there, I mean this in no joking way whatsoever. I mean this in a very serious way. And I know that there's not a real comparison in terms of the depth and the pain that being raped would cause. But being hacked, in a way, has similarities to that. Because now, it's like, if somebody gets physically raped, it's like, you're paranoid of everybody. You don't know who to trust. You don't know, you're scarred in so many ways. And honestly, being hacked is very similar. As crazy as it may sound, it's everything that I do, I'm paranoid of. Things that I used to do frequently, I no longer do. It's really difficult to explain, but it's really not easy. And so it's a process. And yesterday, yesterday was a big deal. Just coming back, seeing the chat, kind of doing a lot of the things that I was doing prior to the situation. And, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many safety precautions you take. It doesn't matter how much time, money, whatever. Like, I have some more gadgets coming. You know what I mean? Things to help. There's a lot of stuff that I'm still doing, but a lot of these hackers, man, I mean, they're smart and it's like they're, young, old. I mean, it doesn't really matter who they are. I mean, these guys study this stuff day in and day out, and they look for ways to exploit systems. And it's overall, it's just scary stuff, man. It really is scary, and you can only do as much as you think will help, and hope that people either A, leave you alone, or B, your defenses are up high enough that either it's too time consuming and too frustrating, or maybe they get into something and they realize, oh wow, this is different. There's nothing here anymore. Like, it's just it's definitely frustrating, and it's unsubscribed after Crow Your Coins Acme on. Oh, after what? I don't even know what that said. Unsubscribed after Crow Your Coins came on. Good luck, bro. Okay, cool. See you, bye. Yeah, it's a traumatic experience. I'm still very much affected. And, for something that, I'm sure that the hacker is probably doing right now, he's got other people on his list or what he's doing. And to him, it's just, how many can I get it? How many computers, how many systems can I get into? What can I get out of them? And to him, it's just numbers, to some of these guys, it's just numbers, but to those affected, it's life-changing. It's extremely violating. And some of us, it's our future. It's our life. It's our home. It's our, I have a family with a bunch of kids, being a target for this stuff, knowing that, if I'm not careful, my entire life could be wiped away from somebody in another country. It could be a neighbor, for all you know. It could be a neighbor, using these Tor tools and scramblers and what's there's so many different terms that I've been reading about lately, but just to learn more. But anyway, look, guys, I feel good. My health is really getting back. I've been on this new testosterone now for a while. I've been on growth hormone. My mustache has grown back enough. So look, it gave me a big forced vacation, and I was able to just focus on a lot of other things. So yeah, I'm Amish to gangster. A gangster? This isn't a gangster hat. This is my driver's cap. I used to wear this all the time when I was a fight promoter, and I just got a few more. Let's see. He got, I don't want to say a whole lot. I will say that he got a bit of crypto that it is what it is. He got a little bit, and but yeah, I don't know what to say about that. He the stuff that I really wanted to keep safe wasn't touched. And that was that. I mean, he could have gotten into a lot of other things at the time, that it doesn't even look like he attempted to. So I think anything that could have been traced or tracked, it doesn't look like he even touched. So he's a smart dude. I mean, or girl, or whoever it is. I mean, they weren't stupid about things at all. Like they knew what they were doing, and they really just seemed like they wanted to go in, take what they could, and get the hell out. Almost like a home burglary, right? Like, you don't want to hang out too long because, something could happen. And I will say that, I do have things where, if additional attempts are made, let's just say I have some additional help at this point, and because I would like to find out who it is and what's going on. And but I will say the stuff is really difficult to track, and I mean, it is what it is. I just want to be left the hell alone. But you obviously, being on YouTube, being a target, talking about the stuff I talk about, it's going to drive greed, man. And it's if people think they can take advantage of you or scam you or con you or hack you or whatever, unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the world willing to sell their soul to do that. And to a lot of these guys, it's just a game for them. It's like fun. It's cute. It's, but for the rest of the world, or the victims of these people, it's much more than that. So if anything, I am looking more and more into security. Because I want to be able to share some of these things with you. I'm not going to ever share everything, because there are just things that You need a hacker on your side. Well, fortunately for me, I know some hackers. I know some very good hackers who do it for a living, and I've been talking to them recently. The profit trailer peeps are on your side. Glad you're back, man. Thanks, Crypto Gnome. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely tricky stuff, man. So it was the NSA. No, it was not the NSA. I just think it was a random hacker who just wanted to see, if he could get something out of me. I honestly, that's all I think it was. I don't think it was a big conspiracy. I don't think, a bunch of people said it was PayPal. No, it wasn't PayPal. It's just silly stuff. So anyway, Superman is the hacker. Something tells me Superman is not a hacker. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't think Supo is a hacker at all. I don't think that's his bag. So what's up from Kentucky? I got robbed at gunpoint last week at work. Bank teller. I jump up every time the door opens now to see who's coming in now. No bueno. Holy shit. Yeah, that's crazy. I had made a comment too recently about getting my concealed carry license and getting a gun. And I'm not going to say whether or not I got one yet, or 2 or 3. I'm not going to say any of that. But, somebody sent me a message that did make a lot of sense. And he was like, even if somebody were to break into your house to rob you, they are not necessarily anticipating having to use deadly force, right? Like they might have a gun to scare you, but having a gun that you may counter with would provoke them to shoot you. And so, there are a lot of good points, a lot of valid points, but, I'm one of those guys where I like to set traps. I like to be prepared. And, I'm a vengeful dude. Like, I have to admit, as compassionate and passionate as I am, I'm also very, very, very vengeful. And so for me, if somebody were to have the gall to break into my house and, put my kids in any danger, you're going to die. That's just plain and simple. If you come in and invade my home, be prepared to die. And that's all there is to it. And, it's like, I love everybody and I care about everybody. But when harm is done to me, somebody who, in my opinion, look, I know some of you guys joke that I'm a big asshole, and I am. I'm just a very blunt, sometimes abrasive asshole. But I do mean well, and everything that I do and say comes from the heart. But I don't know. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. I mean, honestly, as I'm learning more things, I'm going to share some of these things that I think would help a lot of you guys. And I'm going to present, different software packages, different things that I dig up that I may or may not be using, but I think they could help you. I've got something that's going to be here today that I'm not telling anybody about, but it's some pretty badass stuff. So anyway, John Crow Wick, except with crypto. Prepare to die. Crypto is a Velka. What's a Velka? I don't even know what that is. Look, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want anybody to be hurt, ever. I don't. Even bad people, I don't like to see harm come to them. There are some people that in your mind you think they're going to get what's coming to them. You know what I mean? And it's like, the one thing I learned as a kid, and then I'll get on topic here. There's almost 600 of you, I'm sure waiting for me to get to the good stuff. But as a kid, I know defining moments in my life where it's like you kind of choose the path you want to live the rest of your life, right? Kind of that good or evil. And I think you, as you live, you're presented with opportunities to cut corners. And in cutting those corners, you have a decision as to what is your soul worth? What is your future worth? Because and I'm glad I've made the decisions that I've made through my life. When I was young, I was always very compassionate. I was also crazy as shit. I will say, and I'm not proud of this, but there was a period of my life where I was known to be just purely crazy. To the point where all my friends, there was a movie that came out with, was it Bateman? The American Psycho or whatever. And the dude was just nuts. And all my friends used to harass me and joke with me about that being me. I don't think I was ever quite that crazy, but I was one of those guys where if you wronged me, you felt the fact that you wronged me. Like that was it. Now I'm old and fat and I have a family and so much has changed, so I'm not quite like that anymore. But I do think that when you make decisions that I honestly consider selling your soul for greed or profit or gain of any kind, even for emotional gain, like if you are like I call them energy vampires, people who are constantly creating chaos and problems and drama at the expense of others because somehow it fuels them, those people all get what's coming to them. And I think it's just this universal law of attraction that really dictates those things. I feel that the opportunities that I've been presented with in my life, the successes that I've found, have all come from the fact that honestly, I feel like I've made solid decisions. And I've never made a decision that was going to hurt or harm anybody intentionally anyway. Shit happens, but that's it. I mean, all right. Mike Klein, I hope you look at VPN networks. I'm going to tell you something that I'm buying right now. I'm not even going to need that. I mean, it might even already be here as soon as I'm done shooting some video, but I don't want to say what it is because it's a pretty badass piece of technology. So let's see here. I'm your big fan, Jason. Never saw an honest guy like you. You talk by heart. God bless you, mate. Thank you, Gaurav Verma. I appreciate that. I like to think I am very, very honest. Whether people like it or not, I tend to be blatantly honest. So you never pock the bear. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't think I would want to pock a bear either. All right. Let's see here. Crow, what happened to you? You look sad. I'm not sad right now. I'm not sad at all. Honestly, I feel pretty good. I've got a lot ahead of me tonight. I've got some ICO reviews I'm going to knock out. I've got, where'd you go to jail? No, I didn't go to jail. You guys are going to have to check yesterday's video. Any of you guys that don't have a clue what's happened, just check yesterday's video. It's all in there. Who hacks an MMA fighter? Idiots. Well, I highly doubt, I highly doubt, and dude, you're late to the game about Greedmonger. I've been doing refunds forever now. Anyway, please don't troll. As far as like being an MMA fighter, man, I mean, hackers don't care, especially a hacker anywhere else in the country. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a physical thing. I mean, no hacker. I mean, a hacker could be 10 years old and just be smart as hell and do what he does. And I mean, look, I read Hacker Quarterly. Honestly, I always loved the hacker culture, to be quite honest with you. I was always one of those guys who, not necessarily that I wasn't smart enough to be a hacker, but like if I were to ever become a hacker, it would have been an ethical hacker. The problem is the technology on that level changes so much. And like I have a guy that I know, he did actually go to prison for hacking. He actually hacked a local college here. And I won't say who, but he was actually our tech lead when I worked for Apple. Super smart guy. And like, he actually gave me the Unix source code that he used. And, when I was a kid, I was a wannabe hacker. Like, I wasn't even a script kiddie. I wasn't even that good. Like, I don't know. I am impressed by it in some ways. I'm intrigued by it, and I like to learn about things. So I'll pick up a copy of Hacker Quarterly 2600 and read what's new. And look, man, I mean, everybody has their thing. I just wish that a lot of these hackers just focused on, there's so much money to be made with white hat hacking. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Wow. All right. So here's the thing, guys. So when it comes to investing, and this is what I do with, now I'm going to tell you straight up, the number one way to invest $1,000 is ICOs. I mean, that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. So if you're in a country that will enable you to invest in ICOs, obviously you're going to get the best returns. Now, when it comes to the fact that, let's say that the majority of you are in the United States, yeah, and on to the show. When the majority of you come from the United States and you're basically blocked from purchasing ICOs, it's obviously a really difficult thing. You can't get into them. Now, there are some ways that you can get into them, but even those are suspect in some regards. There are different pools and things like that. But you know, it's difficult because you don't know who you can trust. You don't know if the systems they're using to bring all these funds together are legitimate. There's just a lot of different things that you may or may not know. And there are, and the thing of it is, one of the things that I have seen is people that start pools, they get a bunch of people involved, and then the people involved are counting on them to have a clue what they're even talking about or doing. Like, they'll just say, hey, we've got a pool going for this ICO or that ICO, but it doesn't mean that it's worth investing in to begin with. And so there's that challenge there. So, thanks. So $1,000 ready. So I'm knowing that ICOs, a good ICO is going to be the hands down the best way to invest in anything in crypto right now. I'm going to assume that none of you have the ability to get into any. Okay, so I'm focusing this whole tactic strictly, and I went over some of this last night. Okay, so for those of you that tuned in last night, you got some of this, but I wanted to kind of make it its own video. And there's some other things associated with it as well. So here's the thing. So if we're looking at, let's start with Bitcoin, okay? And basically this whole thing is going to be all about exchange coins, all right? And there are going to be different things to look at, different things to consider if you're investing $1,000. Now, really, if you're investing any sum of money, the same rule applies, right? But we're going to focus on $1,000 because that typically seems to be what most people have to throw around, all right? So if you want to get the biggest bang for $1,000, how would you go about doing that? Well, first of all, I'm going to look at Bitcoin's price because a lot of the market is really kind of dependent on Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin to me drives the market cap to quite an extent. So if Bitcoin, right now, Bitcoin's at 89.22, all right? And if I'm looking at it, we all know that the Bitcoin all-time high was about $20,000, all right? So when you're looking at that all-time high and you're thinking, all right, well, if I were to just put $1,000 into Bitcoin, well, when it gets back up to 20,000, my money will almost double. It'll more than double a little bit. All right. So that's cool. If you were putting in $1,000 of Bitcoin right now, right, you'd be getting about 0.11 or something like that in Bitcoin right now. So now the question is, I know that if I put $1,000 into Bitcoin right now and it gets back up to 20 grand, which is I expect it to do, then, let's just say I double my money. All right. Now, we kind of know that there's also a chance for Bitcoin to go to 30 grand or even higher. All right. But what I want to do is I want to see where could my money get the most potential gain. All right. Now, I'm going to look at Ethereum. So in Ethereum, for $1,000, I can't even get two. I still can't even get two full Ethereum yet. However, Ethereum's all-time high was like 1450, I think, something along those lines. So, I could put the same money into Ethereum, and if Ethereum gets back to its all-time high, let's just say, we'll go somewhere lower. Let's say Ripple, because I know a lot of you guys are all on Ripple's jock like so hard. Even though I'm big and bullish on Ivy Coin, and that's Ivy Coin with a K for those of you. I would definitely keep an eye on Ivy Coin, Celsius Network, Debitum. I think Debitum recently hit exchange and it hit in an exchange. So keep an eye on those because I am bullish on those. Yes, those were paid reviews that I did in the past, but I legitimately am all about them. Now, let's say Ripple, for example. Now, Ripple right now is at 68 cents, okay? Now, I'm going to pull up a calendar or a calculator that you guys aren't going to see. But so Ripple's at 68 cents. So if I had $1,000 right now, and I divide that by 0.68, I could buy 1,470 Ripple. Okay. Now, if Ripple goes back to its all-time high, which is likely going to be about where it was, yeah. So its all-time high was $3.65. So if I take that 1470 that I just bought, those 1470 Ripple that I just bought for $1,000, and I multiply that by $3.65, I'm at $5,294. So there you go. Like if I were to put $1,000 into Bitcoin right now, and Bitcoin hits its all-time high, I'm just over doubling my money. If I'm putting it into something like Ripple based off of its all-time high, because here's the thing, this is baseline. Like these are my baseline expectations. Now, this could change, okay? And that's where technical analysis comes in. That's where studying the news comes in. That's where other factors come into play. But, based solely off of where coins have already been prior to the big market crash for this year, if I were to put $1,000 into something, Ripple, I don't even like Ripple. Everybody knows I don't like Ripple. But taking all emotion and idealism out of it, if I've got $1,000, well, I could turn that 1,000 probably into $5,000, and Ripple only has to reach its all-time high. So that's basically what I do. Let's look at another one. Let's go down a bit. Let's go into some of these others. So Tron, I'm not going to look at. I mean, whatever happens with Tron, we'll see. But I'm not super bullish on Tron. I bought some. I think it'll go up, but is it going to go up to to the moon or anything? It might, but I don't know. Qtum is pretty good. Icon's a really good one. I got that at ICO. It's probably close already to, let's see. Oh, shit, I'm way off. All right, so let's just say its all-time high was 1250, even though, for whatever reason, I'm thinking it was a little higher than that. So, all right, so 12, it was like around 1250. All right, so let's say I'm going to take my $1,000. 1,000. Oops, 1,000. I'm going to divide that by $3.59. So that's $278 or 278 Icon right now, and that's after it's already shot up almost 45% in the last 24 hours. All right. So if I go and I multiply that times 1250, that's $3,481. So Ripple might be a smarter bet than Icon right now. That's solely based off of what's happened. That's not to say that Icon can't get to $15, $20, $25 a coin. Okay? This whole how I would invest $1,000 is primarily using their previous all-time high as a baseline. What could I expect minimum should the coin hit its all-time high again? Okay. From there, that's when you look into the other factors. Like, let's say, Cardano's at 21 cents. I know at one point it hit $1.30, right? So let's look at Cardano, which is one of my favorite coins and still is. So if I take $1,000, I divide that 0.21, which it was at a low of like 12 cents already over the past like 7-8 days. So that would give me 4,761 Cardano, okay? So if I multiply that, let's say by $1.30, now I'm at $6,190. So Cardano technically would be a much better buy right now than Ripple. Because if I put $1,000 into Cardano right now, and that gets back to $1.30, which was its all-time high, I'll have $6,190 worth of Cardano. Okay? So, basic math lessons. Well, the math is basic, but it's not something that a lot of people think about. That's the thing. It's not people comparing, I hear a lot about Bitcoin. I could just buy Bitcoin. Yeah, you could, but the question is, could you make more taking that $1,000 and putting it into something else? And it's basically a simple calculation. You're right, but it's the thought process behind it that a lot of people, don't look into. All right, this isn't a golf hat. This is a driver's cap. What about Cardano at $100? Anything's possible. That's all there is to it. Anything's possible. It depends on, what's the adoption of Cardano when their proof of stake comes out. I think it's very likely it's probably going to hit its all-time high. It's supposed to be sometime this month. I haven't even looked into it. Let me see. Well, I guess I didn't even have to do that. Hold on. I don't even know who this is. Let's take a look. How long have we been on here? 30 minutes. All right. The dataless wallet, Ouroboros. That's what I'm looking for. Proof of stake mining with Ouroboros. Oh, all right. I'm actually looking for the roadmap. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to see where they are in exchange enhancements. I mean, they're really starting to, they're closing in on a lot of this stuff. Shelly update. Open Ouroboros delegation. So they're about 75% of the way through. So we'll see what happens. I was expecting Ouroboros to launch this month, and it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. But even still, if it launches next month, it's still going to be huge. So I assume everybody understands this concept. Yeah, I mean, is it likely that Cardano is going to hit $100 this year? No, it's probably not very likely at this point. But, will it see $5 even? I think it's absolutely probable at this point. I think it's probable for it to hit 5. I think it could go much higher than that. I mean, Icon went from 11 cents at ICO to like $12, $13 in no time flat. So it's not unlikely that Cardano could see $20, $30 at least, over the term of this bull run in the bull market, especially if they start meeting, more of their metrics and their roadmap. So yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Like that's what I look at if I'm going to invest. Like if I have $1,000 or if I've got a couple grand, there are other things to consider though. Okay. For me, especially now, I'm like really weary of having multiple wallets and all that stuff. So, I'm much more likely to buy coins that I can store on one specific wallet and keep locked up offline than I am something that I need to keep running somewhere at this point. But that's my own thing. Fusion is just over ICO project. I got some Fusion. Let's see. For wearing that hat, this man deserves some likes. Smash up the likes. That's funny. I like my hat. I didn't feel like fixing my hair. I need my dude to come over and get me cleaned up. Hybrid block, I don't know anything about, Daniel. All right, so that's pretty much, I mean, was this helpful? Like, did this all make sense to you guys? Like, do you guys feel like you can take $1,000 and effectively, calculate what it's likely to be the best buy and the best investment right now? And now you can take this and my suggestion would be, honestly, to diversify a bit. Maybe you break that $1,000 into 4 different investments and just kind of hedge your bets a little. But I think, honestly, with where the market is right now and where I see it going to be here over the next 60 days even, probably anything that you invest into in the top 25 is going to go pretty well for you. XRP is a terrible choice. I love that, Joe. I love that. I don't like Ripple. Like, I don't like Ripple at all. Which wallet do you recommend for all my coins? It depends. It depends on what coins you have and what blockchains they're compatible with and what wallets are available. I'm waiting for Ethos to launch, but I'm not even jumping on Ethos as soon as it launches because I want to make sure that it runs solid and I want to make sure that there are no security issues with Ethos or anything, and I want to check it out. I want to make sure it's got all the security features that I'm looking for at this point. So yeah, all right, 35-minute video. I'm gonna cut this here because I got more videos coming, folks. So I hate to see 700 people there, but I got some more work to do, and I don't want these videos to be super long. If I can try to keep them under a half hour moving forward, I'd like to. And I kind of rambled a little bit, but this was just kind of a quick lesson. Your hat sucks, mate, but I still love you. You know what, guys? I can't believe you're mean to my hat. Look at that. That's just a nice hat. I don't know what it is. What it is. I love my hat. I'm gonna have to wear it like all day, every day now in every video. ADA will hit $20 in 3 to 5 years. I think ADA is going to hit $20 this year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. No more hats. All right, guys. So I'm going to sign out. I'll play a little song on the outro, and I've got, honestly, I might have like 3 more videos. I don't know if I should just knock out like 3 videos a day, and then schedule them to publish, self-publish, or what. But very dapper. Thank you, Anna. You should make an exclusive Crow hardware wallet so we can really crow your coins. Yeah, so, and somebody else was talking yesterday a lot about he owns a radio station or whatever, and he's like, reach out to me, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know how to reach out to you. Like, I clicked his name and went to his channel, there's nothing there at all. So I'm like, if the dude's legit, I mean, he can contact me. And because honestly, I'd love to have a TV show. I'd love to have a radio show. So, I think there are things that in order for me to do really well on radio, like I'd love to have a Sirius XM station or something like that. And, I love Howard Stern, man, Baba Booey and all that stuff. I love it. And, I would love to have a radio show, a talk show, doing interviews and things as it relates to the crypto space. But I think there are things that I do that would be very unprofessional that I would have to work out. I'd have to get rid of all the ums and the things that I do with my mouth and things. So I would have to train myself to get out of those habits if I were to ever do real radio. So, okay, folks, I'd appreciate everything. I'm going to get back to work. I don't think I'm going to do these other videos live. I think I'm going to record them and then upload them. Because I have like 5 big videos that I want to do. Well, 4 now. 4 videos that I wanted to do that kind of build on this and move into other avenues, and then a couple of reviews. So I want to get this stuff out, and I appreciate you. I love you guys very much, very, very, very much, and I will be back soon. And crow your hat and your coins. All right, here we go. I'm gonna exit with the song.
If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kinda patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. And crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. Crow your coins, crow your coins. Crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. Crow your coins, crow your coins. Crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. Crow your coins, crow your coins. Crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. never seen a place like this before. Not afraid to go ahead. As long as you're with me, I'll go on. Even if it takes me all my life, I'm not afraid to do it right. As long as you're with me, I know you wanna go boom, boom, boom. Yes, I go, but I go slow. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I go, but I go slow. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I go, but I go slow. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I go, but I go slow. I go slow. I go slow. I go slow. So slow. Hold your breath and spin around. Jump off the cliff into the underground. Hypnotized by the changing lights. Come with me, we'll reach new